Dan Barker, Spring-Itsbury Township. Madam President, I agree with you that I highly recommend retirement until a local district decides to build a monstrosity in your backyard and your wife becomes unhappy. And when my wife asks me to do something, I usually do. And she asked me to become a watchdog, and so here I am. I was really surprised. I think it would be called item 8B on the agenda tonight. The administration recommended, and you passed, the replacement of the coordinator of communication administration services position with the executive assistant to the superintendent position. Given it is not personal, Scott, but given the failure of once that the board has followed the state's directives and delegated the responsibilities for communication according to your policy to you and your office, and that has been a massive failure over the last 10 years. We've got 1 decade of proof. Yes, postcard was sent out. Yes, a couple articles were put in the paper. That does not meet the requirements of that policy line. Quite frankly, sir, if I was you, I would amend that sucker right away, because it's a problem for you, and it's a problem for the past superintendents and the past administrative people that this bulldog isn't going to let go of. On the comments tonight on the website, one of the first ones was, I oppose the renovation project and I believe the taxpayer deserves transparency. That's your problem. That's the problem. That's why you've got an overflowing room here and outside, and the problem's not going to go away because we are active, and you've been asking for that. And along the way, there's words used, and it's disconcerting, some of them that are used. Equitable is a word that shows up in the description of the project. You chase equitable out a little bit, it leads to impartiality. That leads to favoring no one side or party more than the other. Well, there's no doubt, it's an incontrovertible fact that there's been favor placed away from the residents in this process. Integrity was mentioned by one of the longtime attenders, apparently, in the context of the community interaction from the residents that are unhappy with the way things are going. I'm not here to stop this project. It's not my objective. I don't like what I see when I look at the state law, when I look at the Constitution, when I look at the policy manual, and I look at the way that you're operating the district. And it's on specific points. And integrity is one of them. Integrity, Madam President, is not telling a local resident when she has a problem with the noise that's going to be created in her backyard that you'll make sure to do what you can do to make sure that construction doesn't start until 10 o'clock each day. Now, is it? It's nonsense. Anybody who speaks it knows it. I read an article from a retired board member that was entitled, Beware of Disinfo About York Renovation Projects. When you drill down into the article, you see the word disinformation. I'll use it, thank you. And disinformation is by no means what the article talked about. It is the deliberate, definitively, false information leaked by a government as to confuse another nation's intelligence operations. Come on, people, you're involved in a scholastic activity, at least be scholastic. Don't use terms of accusing people of being charlatans, of being village idiots. It's unacceptable. It takes you down a path that definitively puts you in a brand called a hostile board, a body corporate that has become warlike and characteristic of an enemy.